Hey guys, this is Mr. O'Neill again, and we're going to talk today about compare-contrast essays. Specifically, the two types of compare-contrast essays that you may want to write, or you can write. Before we get into that, however, let's talk about basic essay structure. First thing you should know is your introduction. Your introduction should hook the reader, provide some background, and state the thesis, or your main argument about, that you're going to be discussing in your paper. Now remember that your thesis statement is an arguable position. This is especially important in compare-contrast essays because a lot of times a thesis statement ends up being, while this thing is similar to another thing, they also have many differences. Right? That is not an arguable position. Remember, essays are exercises in logic and argumentation. Right? And therefore, your thesis statement should reflect that. It should be an arguable position, and you are taking a position. You're not, oh, I feel like this is some of this is good and some of this is bad. You are taking a single position on whatever it is you're talking about. Your topic sentence should be the first sentence in your body paragraphs. It should tell the reader what the paragraph is going to be about. Remember, if your thesis is an arguable position, your body paragraphs are the evidence that support that position, right? And so to prove your topic sentence, you have concrete details. These are the facts and evidence that you use to prove that your topic sentence is correct, right? Make sure that, and there are a lot of types of facts or evidence you can use. You can use quotes, you can use statistics, you can use specific details, you can use examples. Right? Any of these are okay. Right? Just make sure that your concrete detail supports your topic sentence. Your commentary is an explanation of your concrete detail. Right? This is not a random opinion. This is not a random explanation. Your commentary specifically explains how your concrete detail supports your topic sentence. It's very important that you get this right. Otherwise, it is serving no purpose at all. Your concluding sentence should act as a bridge to your next paragraph. Right? It summarizes your paragraph and then leads into your next idea. And then you have your concluding paragraph. Your concluding paragraph should restate your thesis, summarize your main points, and leave the reader something to think about. Right? Or it could be a call to action. It really depends on the type of essay you are writing. So let's go into the first type of compare-contrast essay that you may want to write. Right? It's the point-by-point method. Take a look at it. It is your standard 5 paragraphs. You have your introductory paragraph, your 3 body paragraphs, and your concluding paragraph. Each body paragraph should have 2 concrete details, and each concrete detail should have 2 commentary, which means that each body paragraph should be at least 8 sentences. Right? And that means you have a topic sentence, your concrete detail, 2 commentary, another concrete detail, 2 more commentary, and then a concluding sentence. Sometimes your paragraphs may be a little bit longer because you're being a little bit more thorough with your explanations, but it should certainly never be less than 8 sentences. Let's look at an example. First example of a body paragraph would be temperature. Right? The temperature during spring, while similar to autumn, tends to have higher highs. Then you have your concrete details. Then you have your events, which is another body paragraph. While there are many celebrations throughout both seasons, the holidays during spring are more important. And then you have your third body paragraph, which is talking about the time period. Spring is more important than autumn because it is the season that begins the new year. Notice that for each body paragraph, you are comparing and contrasting spring and autumn. Right? You have your main point, which is temperature, events, or time period, and then your concrete details in the paragraphs explain how they are similar or different regarding that point. And that is why this is called the point by point, because your paragraphs are organized by point. Right. Let's move on to the next one, which is the block method. Now the block method is a little bit different from point by point, mostly because it only has 2 body paragraphs. Right? Each body paragraph is made up of 3 concrete details, and then you have your commentary. Regardless of which method you choose, you're going to have a total of 6 concrete details. Right? The difference being in point by point, you have 2 concrete details per paragraph, and in block method, you have 3 concrete details per paragraph. However, you still need 2 commentary per concrete detail. So in that sense, they're both the same. The only difference is that because you only have 2 body paragraphs, you will be eliminating 1 topic sentence and 1 concluding sentence. So technically, the block method is 2 sentences shorter than the point by point. But again, the main work, right, with the body paragraphs and concrete details and commentary, that remains the same. So let's look at an example of the block method. All right. Just like before, we're going to talk about both spring and autumn, right? With spring, we have our 3 points. We have temperature, we have events, and we have time period. And in the first paragraph, you were establishing norms. You were establishing what it is, what qualities spring has. Right? So you have temperature. The temperatures during spring often exceed 90 degrees. The most important holiday during spring is Easter. And although the new year begins in winter, the year doesn't really begin until spring. Right? So these are your 3 main details about spring. Your second body paragraph is when you are going to do your comparing and contrasting. Right? So your sentences may sound like, unlike spring, the temperatures during autumn tend to be lower. For events, while spring has one great holiday, autumn's holiday, Halloween, is mostly for children. And then when you're talking about time period, since autumn is a season that prepares for winter, it doesn't possess the same importance as the actual end or the beginning. Right? So notice that in block method, you have all your points in a single block, and you're talking about a single thing that you're comparing or contrasting, right? So we have spring, all its points, and then autumn and all of its points. And that is the difference between the point-by-point method and the block method. So I hope you guys have a better understanding of it, and I hope that this will help you with the writing of your own compare-contrast essays. Good luck, and I look forward to reading your papers.